Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elconin. Welcome to Friday's edition of Pre-Market Info.
We normally get pretty excited on these days with the jobs number coming out, but there's going to be no jobs number today with the government shutdown.
Well, you do have the CNBC Squawk Jobs report, so I think that's probably
What is the
more important.
CNBC Squawk jobs report? Are they
And
trying to
they're doing
guess
some,
it?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
on there trying to
yeah,
guess the numbers.
yeah. Well, that's
Are
what
they
we
going
do
to
too.
release their guesstimate at 8:30?
I don't know, but Dennis, how come the S&Ps cannot get away from the 1674 level? It's like I don't know what to do here. I don't, it's just hugging here, a buck and a quarter off the pre-market high. Had to spike low when that news came out of the Capitol down to 1668. Then we've rebounded a couple times,
Mm-hmm.
but holy smokes, it's right around the area, a couple lows we had earlier
Yeah.
in the week, and it's just consolidation here.
I think it's like the support, that 1674 to 76 was great support for a few trading sessions, and now it's just the classic support becomes resistance, and we have bounced up here in the pre-market, and you're right, we're struggling to get through this whole 1675 area, so if you do subscribe to that theory where the old support can become new resistance, that's what we're seeing on the E-mini right now.
Right. Really not a lot of numbers above the 75 and a quarter area. The highest level since we've traded at since making that low is 77 and a half, but that's definitely a soft number. Coming back on the downside, 67.50 coincides with that 68 spike low when we had that negative news out of Washington yesterday.
We've had gold chopping around a little bit, but right now it's exactly flat here on the day, or pretty much flat. Trading at 13.15 right now on the futures. This 1300 area, we've kind of bounced down there yesterday, bounced off it. We tried to get down there a little bit there again today, but it seems to be holding.
Subscribing to your theory of old support being new resistance, that 1320 level held for multiple sessions as your lows. You had the breakdown day
Hmm.
below 1300, and now you've been itching up, coming back up to that 1320 level. You snuck above it a few times here, but that's still the good resistance level. You do have bulls defending that $1,300 level. You only got the 1302 yesterday. So you're getting a couple days of consolidation here. I'd still look at that 1320 as major resistance.
Let's move on to crude here this morning too. We've got to upgrade an ExxonMobil, which we'll get to in a second here as well. But crude actually trading 103.90 here right now. We kind of bounced off and we've consolidated here, consolidating near the last 3 days of highs here. We gearing up here to
Yep.
break out again?
You tell me, Dennis. 102.87 was low you had yesterday. It opened right at that area, but held at 102.90, so that you got a double bottom here, backed up by another double bottom going back to Monday and Tuesday. You got to respect this 104.23 to 38 area as major resistance here. I think if you can get that 104.40, 104.50 print, things open up to the 105 handle. 105.12 was the high on September 23rd.
Let's quickly talk about a couple of the big oil stocks here, starting with ExxonMobil because they got upgraded here by Raymond James this morning. I guess they're looking at that double bottom that you were looking at,
Yeah,
maybe, Joel. 85.28 from a couple days ago, 85.34 from yesterday. Obviously reversing huge here today. We're up at 86.10 right now on the Raymond James upgrade.
a couple interesting things to note on this stock. The lows that it made here on Wednesday and Thursday, the double bottom. This stock is only like 50 cents away from where it was at the beginning of the year. So just not correlating with the market.
Mm.
But if you're looking to fade this upgrade here, at least you have a double top to fade into. Wednesdays and Thursdays highs here 86.05 and 86.11. So it is an upgrade. We are opening up, but just be cognizant of that resistance that you're going to be buying into.
And then Chevron actually had a breakdown day yesterday. I tried to play it off that 120. I thought, maybe we'll bounce here. We bounced off that area the day before we got down to 119.76. So I bought in the 119.90 area, hoping that low would hold, maybe put in a double bottom. It did not, so I got out of the trade. And obviously, traded a lot lower. Got all the way down to 118 bucks, 117.93 to be precise. bounced a little bit there, is bouncing a bit here in the pre-market, just on 100 shares up to 118.75. But definitely some weakness from Chevron yesterday.
Yeah, big breakdown there. That they did get to 117.93 here. If you were looking at your dailies, which obviously you weren't here, you looked at the 118.07 low on August 27th, and then you had another low at 118.12. So a couple lows in that 118 here area, coinciding with the nice whole number theory. You are getting a bounce here in the pre-market. Boy, how many down days? I mean,
8 in a row.
finally,
Quiet,
yeah,
like remember Exxon
yeah.
had 21 out of 22 days? Well, this has quietly had 10 out of the last 11 days have been down here for Chevron. So trying to compete there a little bit, and we went from basically the high of the last 4 or 5 months to the low of the last 4 or 5 months in 10 trading sessions.
Right. So we got to be a little bit skeptical here. This
Mm-mm.
bounce that you're getting here in the pre-market, not a lot of volume associated with it. Let's just take a look. Got higher than this 118.75 that is trading. It actually got all the way up to over 119 here, 119.30. So I'd use that as a good resistance point.
Let's move on here. Facebook going to put ads into Instagram here. Also, Stern AG upping their price target. We know that every single day somebody ups their price target on Facebook. Stern AG is the broker of the day, upping their price target to 58 from 50. But the big news here that's really moving the stock is those ads going into the Instagram. When they announced this last night, the stock immediately popped. If you look at the after hours action, it went from basically the close of 49.18, popped a buck all the way up into the 50 handle, pulled back a bit, and has kind of now settled here above 49.50, and is trying to drift higher here, trying to get up to that psychological 50 level.
Yeah, a little lesson for our listeners here. When you're trying to put an order in to exit a position, you should probably start before 3:59 and 45 seconds.
Ooh,
I had been holding on to some of those 50 puts, and I had my last lot of five, and I just figured, why take it home overnight? I was just going to try and just sell them at, basically whatever the bid was, and boom, man,
missed.
359.55. I put it in, and the
Didn't get
bid
it.
moves. I don't get it, and then immediately afterwards, it's
News
up
got
in
you.
my face. Yeah, I mean, the revenge trade, which would be, to buy some more off the open here off that 50 level
Off the
because
50
it's
puts.
yeah, yeah, but I just don't know.
So you're
Just don't
still
know if
bearish the stock here, though, or are you bearish?
it's more of a revenge trade.
That's more of
That's
a
why I'm just,
revenge trade. Those
yeah, I
revenge
think
trades,
it.
those can end ugly sometimes.
I think I would rather just see it maybe not hold that 50 level and pull back if it can get back into that anywhere the 49.40 49.50 area. I think I'll just try and wiggle out of those. But just a lesson there that going near the close, man, start at 3:59. You would have gotten that order out.
It's definitely struggling here in the pre-market though at this 50 level, and that's what we like to look at on the pre-market info because a lot of other people out there don't cover the pre-market session like we do. And when you look at that multiple levels there, just go back to that pre-market chart just to point that out to our listeners there again, there, Joel. There's multiple highs here, just under 50 here from the pre-market. We originally did break out through it, but then it's tried here about in the last 2 hours, or at least the last hour and a half. It has tried multiple times to get through 50, has not. So somebody is defending that 50 level. We don't know what's going to happen in the regular session, but we do know sometimes the pre-market can be an indicator. So I'd expect a little bit of resistance here around this 50 level. If we can break out of there, then it's a different story. But it looks like that psychological level is coming into play here in the pre-market. Also, let's just quickly talk about Twitter. Obviously, there's a ticker symbol. It's going to be TWTR. You bring that up, it's not going to show anything. It hasn't started trading, but they chose their ticker symbol here, TWTR. Going to raise $1 billion. Obviously, looking at a valuation perspective, when you take that $1 billion, it looks like it would be valued probably up around 12 billion. What do you think of this whole Twitter IPO? Is this going to be like the next Facebook, where it's just going to be the hottest thing here, or what's your take here,
Well,
Joel?
my fundamental analyst here on the desk, Jake, was analyzing some of the data here, and what he noticed is that there really wasn't a full disclosure on what they were getting from selling their data. where that was going to fit into the revenue stream. And those statistics, it's kind of a quiet IPO. So, I mean, I think that's the real value. I mean, they have
Mm.
such a high, what is it, 87% of the revenue comes from advertising. You know that's a slippery slope. But if they can maximize selling that data, then hey, you gotta take that into account. So I don't know if I'll learn anything from my Facebook IPO lesson. I'll let the thing open up and
Tank
trade
50%
for
and then buy
yeah.
it.
Before I start writing blogs and opinions, how bullish I am on it, I will just have to wait to see get the technicals going in a little bit. But how are they gonna maximize that data? I mean, that's the Googles of the world, that's the Facebook, that's how they're making the money selling the data. So we'll just have to get a better idea of how Twitter is going to maximize that revenue stream.
Speaking of IPOs, Potbelly, PBPB, that's going to be the symbol today, and it is going to start trading here on the NASDAQ. The sandwich maker's IPO price is going to be $14, so the symbol is PBPB. I don't know if it'll bring anything up there, Joel.
Yeah,
There's
I got
obviously
it.
no trades yet, but click it and see. Well, it's got the name of the company there for you, Potbelly
Okay.
Corp. So that's a place that we eat there sometimes over there on Telegraph, isn't Potbelly's? Is that the?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a rich man's Subway. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
classy
little,
Subway.
yeah, little bit more expensive. I mean, there's so many different places. Subway, Potbelly's,
Yeah,
Jimmy John's. I mean,
Quiznos.
yeah, Quiznos. I mean, I go to a different place every time. So I mean,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
competitive.
no real opinion on it's competitive. The sandwiches are good. So really, once again, let's let it get open up, trade for a couple days, and then we'll analyze the technicals.
Let's move on here, looking at a few other ones. I'll go to your winner of the day, and that is DSCO, which is Discovery
Disco.
Laboratories. Disco Stew. No, it's Discovery Laboratories, DSCO. They're getting FDA approval for Survaxin. That drug is for the prevention of respiratory distress syndrome in infants. And it is popping big time here, and I'm talking big time. It's up 57% here right now. It actually was up even more than that just a few minutes ago. Got up looking at the highs there around $3.48. But this stock is breaking out something fierce, blowing away the old 52-week high, which was $2.23.
Wow, blew that away. You did make a double top in the pre-market at 347, 348. So obviously, someone has opinion here in the stock at the 350 level, up 60%. I think if you had a large position in this and you're anticipating this kind of discovery, great opportunity here to get out in the three handle. Hasn't traded below $3 since the news came out. 304 has been the low, so might be a little bit shakeout of the longs here. Going back
This is
though, Dennis. I
interesting,
mean,
going back to
yeah,
September. So exactly,
yeah,
I should bite my tongue with the 52-week high. It was a 6-month high. Because when you go back here to September 7th, which was just over 52 weeks ago, obviously, it got up to $3.51. And then a couple days
woohoo.
later was up at 345, 340, 340. So interesting. We always look, these levels can work sometimes. And obviously got right up to the area where it struggled back in September in the 340, 348 area. That's where it got to in the pre-market.
Right. So, could the guy that was selling there back in who knows when, July 2012, or lady, that's the level to keep an eye on here in Discovery Labs.
Disco Stew. Congratulations on your bet. That was the fastest one you ever got on me. Taser, the big reversal day yesterday. I think you just got in there anyways. Obviously, I don't remember what the actual price we said. I think we said what was it, 16 or
It
18?
was trading like at 1685 or
Yeah, it
something
got up to
like that.
17, 16, and then it just boom. And that's the way these things end. They always end ugly. So they will reverse, and it reversed something fierce. And when the reversal starts on these stocks that have had these parabolic runs, they can get ugly. And lesson learned from me on my paper trading there, I didn't do very good. I'm glad I didn't have any real money on that one. But you did well. You're a good one for you on your paper trading because you called it. You said this thing was going to reverse here eventually, and it did something fierce yesterday.
Right, but bulls, taser bulls, don't fret here. You made a 1451 low, 1437, believe it or not, was your 4 day low, and you also had another low in that area, 1442. So, you trade 50 cents away from there. If it goes down there and holds again, it just may be a 1 day, aberration here. If not, if it cuts through that 1440 level. Look out, we could be seeing 1401. I mean, it was just on September 19th, it was 1401. And, if you don't even want me to start doing a 50% retracement here from 850 to 17, that would take you down in this 12 and a half, $13 area.
Let's move on to some of the Big Ten here. You were talking about a lot of double tops, a lot of double
Yeah.
bottoms. We talked about the double bottom Nexon Mobile. What else you got there for us, Joe, from the Big Ten?
Oh my gosh, look at this J and J. I mean, it's like they must have
86.
initiated.
Holy cow.
Yeah, are they buying stock? I mean, did they
Whew.
put out a level that they're buying
I don't
stock
know.
back at?
The
86, but just multiple lows in that
crazy.
area.
It's crazy because if you go back into late August, early September, you had one, two, three, four, five, like six, seven lows. Gets the rally up over 90, comes back, and what are we doing? We're doing the same thing here again. We're putting one, two, three, four lows pretty much in a row between 80, just above 86, down at 86.15, and then up at 86.44. So a little higher than 86, but definitely somebody picking bottoms here in a big time way because this 86 level is being defended.
A little bit on the resistance side. Mr. Softy had trouble, chewing through that 33 and a half
Mm,
level, but now it's found a new level to feast on here.
34.
34.
Yeah.
Yeah, 34 was your high yesterday. 34.03 was your high on October 2nd. Then if you go all the way back to August 27th, you had a high at 34.10 here. So, it's making three attempts at $34 area. It's recovered nicely, off the, negative news that it had up and down. I mean, can you believe, like, if you would show me this chart and you would say, not knowing that it was Microsoft, I
Weird
mean,
looking
this
chart.
thing just doesn't trade like this. But here you are at a good resistance point. So if you've been holding on to that stock for a while, keep an eye on the $34 level. Also, a stock with, developing some nice support here. Uh,
Procter
Procter and
Gamble.
Gamble,
Resistance too.
yep, had three lows at the 75.40 level. Faked people out, went to 75.10, and then rallied nicely. But on the upside, if you're looking to buy this thing, through a resistance level, exact double top at 76.14. So Procter and Gamble winding up here. And then the last stock, boy, I'm showing all these support levels. Must be ready for a big down day here. Uh, J.P. Morgan, I know it had the ex-dividend and whatnot, but boom, look at all those lows at the 51.40 level.
Yeah.
I believe you had five lows between 51.29 and 51.54. Now you got a nice pop up in the pre-market, opening up into your 6 day high at
There's a
52.56.
little cup and handle for you pattern traders there too. The little bottom of the cup down there at 50, and now you got this handle forming from this whole 51.40 area. So it's supposed to be a bullish pattern. We're not big pattern traders here. We're more level traders, but that pattern does jump out at me on the J.P. Morgan there too. S&P futures do look like they are defending that 1675 area now as resistance. We have drifted down a couple points since we started the show here. So 1675 and a quarter being the high. I guess that's going to be resistance at least for the start of today.
Yeah, let me be the first here to call the Head and Shoulders top in the S&Ps here. Not
Ooh,
much of not
patterns
much
all
of
over the
a
place today.
yeah pattern day.
Pattern day.
Not much of a left shoulder here, but you are developing an extended right shoulder here. So we'll see if we can break back into that 17 handle, 100 handle over the next few days. Major support on the downside at the low for the week at 1663.75.
Well, normally these Fridays would be real exciting right now. It's 8:36. We'd be 6 minutes after the jobs number, and we'd be shopping around here. Not the case today. The government shutdown ever ends. Maybe we will get those jobs numbers. But besides that, have a great weekend, guys, and we'll be back at you on Monday.